welcome back to this bonanza of brick building. This is part 3. So yesterday on Boxing Day we did part 1 and part 2. So yes, hopefully we are going to finish this today. This behemoth, this beast of a set. So what we've got so far, oh whoops, we've got most of the body and the leg and the arms, sorry, and we have the right leg. So I haven't extended that because there might be extra bits to put on it, like the foot. So we have Ravage, the Black Panther, that transforms into a cassette. And then yeah, we've got the mechanism that opens the cassette tray, and we've got the other one, Laserbeak. I'll transform him later. Has that gone in properly? Yeah, putting these cassettes in are a bit fiddly. Take the cassette out. Take that out. So, hopefully you're still full bellies from the last few days. Hope you've had a wonderful time. Oh, what's going on here? Yeah. So, 2/3 of the way through. We've got 4 bags left, so 9, 10, 11 and 12. So we've got bag 9. And this has got 2 little mini bags. Let's get the tray. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's get the big tray for the big bits. Is that all of them? Yep. Hashtag unintentional ASMR. Oh, hang on, what's going on here? Hello, brain cell. You alright, mate? Hope you had a lovely Christmas. Fancy seeing you here. Yep, that's all of them out there. How are you doing? Right, so step 213. So we start with that bit. It was alright, had its ups and downs, but through it all now. Yeah, step 213 on page 135. Yes, I've had pretty good holidays. Not least because of building this set. But yeah, I had 2 Christmas dinners in a row, one on Christmas Eve and one on Christmas Day. Christmas Eve one was in a pub, and the one on Christmas Day was a home cooked one. So thank you for doing the shout out, Foxy. Hope you're well too. Right, so goes in there. Let's move him out slightly out of the way so we can see what we're doing. So, and then fill a brick. So, is that, yeah, that's one across. So you've done a shout out for Brain Cell, so you get a shout out. Enjoying morning coffee and watching a prank show with Calvin. What sort of prank show? I watch the fart prank shows. I like seeing the people's facial expressions after they've just been walked past and farted. Oh, I'll wait another 40 seconds. It's because I keep doing them too close together. Right, so a little bright blue brick there. It's a bit weird that they're mixing sizes of bricks in the bags. That one should have been in the little bags, not the big bag. Right, so I assume we're building the core of the left leg this time. Yeah, right, so sorry, was having audio issues. I'm back now. No worries. Hopefully get the motivation to make eggs and bacon. Nice. So yeah, as before, they go underneath, not on the top. It's definitely going ready for the new year. I'm hoping to have a much better new year than I've had this year, and I've had a pretty good year this year, doing all of my Lego videos. So then that fixes on like that, and then 2x1 light grey, and yeah, so I might have a little break halfway through because I'm hopefully going to go for about 3.5 hours until it's finished. So, and then yeah, more of those. So I build that up on the side. Oh yeah, we haven't done that. I hear that. I'd like to make some improvements in 2026. Well, I mean, hopefully mid next year, I'm gonna not get a brand new laptop, but get a nearly new sort of, but still an upgrade. So I want to get one with Windows 11. So 4 of those, because this laptop to the side of me here is getting really slow. And then 2 blue ones. I mean, bless it, it's still working just about. It would be nice for sort of apps and stuff to load up quicker on the laptop. It's embarrassing sometimes. I could, you know, I've got the phone and I can, with 2-3 clicks of a button on a menu, I'll be on to somebody that I want to watch on Twitch. On my laptop, it takes a hell of a lot longer. Excuse me. Right, so, yeah, that's done. Next page. So 1x6 light grey at the back there. Yeah, nothing too major for 2026, but little bits here and there. Might have a little bit more of a fiddle around on the Twitch website itself. However, I'm so proud to know that gas made 25 wicked. I've only just started my Lego journey, and I meet such a lovely human who loves the dark game, Lego, and a panache for fine spirits. Well, speaking of which, you know what I mean, I've still got a bit of my coffee that's got a little bit of my whiskey in. Well, that's the thing with Lego. You can still find all different types of people, but they've got that shared interest of Lego. So, yeah, lovely combo. You know what I mean? I've met Sat Bloker, I've met Lego with Fonzie. I love him to bits. I hardly know him, but he's a great bloke. The person I raided yesterday, Nathan Builds Things. What's his name? Zach M. Routledge. Mac Builds Bricks. He was lovely enough to pop in yesterday. So there's loads of, you know what I mean, and a lot of them stream. So do you know what I mean? We can all watch each other build Lego. Happy days. So that goes on the end. You can't get much better than just sat chilling watching people build Lego. Right. One of them across then. Soundwave looked like he's doing yoga, doing a mid. Yeah, kind of, yeah. The downward, well, not quite the downward dog, but not even horse stance. Well, horse stance is more martial arts, so. Is that a 5? Yeah, that's a 5. That goes on the end there. So, building up some stability. And then the next layer. There we go. Thought I'd lost them for a sec then. I mean, like I said to my IRL best friend and mod, Swampy, I'd like to get to the stage where I can monetize it all. Maybe have Patreon, Ko-fi, and then plough that money back in to doing Lego giveaways. The only thing that's going to kill that slightly is the postage and packaging. But yeah, I would love to. The sets won't be huge, but I would still like to be able to do some kind of giveaway, because it would be lovely. It'd be nice to, you know, even if it might not be an adult, like say for example, if you won the giveaway, Foxy, do you know what I mean? Would you build it yourself, or would you give it to your child? You know what I mean? Spread it around. It's like a few months back, my support worker at the mental health charity that looks after me, I gave him a little mini F1 car, sort of the ones that come out of the little Lucky Dip box. because I didn't want two of the same team colour, so McLaren. So I ended up getting the Lego City slightly bigger version of the McLaren F1 car, and then I had like a, not a duplicate in size but in colours, so I ended up getting another one of the mini ones but a different team colour, so this one would be Aston Martin, and then I gave my support worker, who's like granddad age, who's got a grandchild, and gave it to him. Hello Stephen, you alright mate? Right, I'll do you first actually. You get a shout out. I hope you're nicely chilled after Christmas. So I've spelt it right. Stephen X Kal-El. I assume that's a Superman reference. There we go. Right. So, yeah. Build up the back layer. So, big grey brick. Not so big blue brick. And then another one, a little one on the top. Oh, excuse me, coffee burps. Right, so, and then just tile it off at the top. So, a little one on the end. A 6x1. Oh. And then little one blue. And a little triangular angled step up. And to finish off the end here, another little blue one. Alright, sorted. So, we turn it on its side and we start putting flat tile plates on this side. So, yep. And then a long blue one. There, and then lots of long grey ones that come off the end by 2. See, that's one of the main reasons why I bought this set, because I knew that there was going to be the sound brick in it. That's all on properly, yeah. Right. And then some more flat tile. Oh, we've got a sticker. Nearly time for a sticker. Oh, it's got a little side bit on here saying the model's conversion is directly inspired by the engineering of the original toy. We added some additional steps and functions like the collapsing shin panels when adapting the design to Lego form. Ooh. Right, so excuse me. So that one goes on the end. And then strip there, black strip there, then so here we have the sticker there. So what number is it? It is number 2. Alright, stereo micro cassette recorder. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Try and get it closer. Yeah, just about see it. Right, so which way does it go on? It goes on. Right, so to the left. Definitely glad that the stickers are the same shade of blue as the tile, because I've seen videos on YouTube where they've moaned a little bit because the shade, there's like a difference of like 1 or 2 shades between the sticker and the tile. Hello! Hello Jim, you alright mate? See if we can do, we might have to wait a little bit because Foxy did the shout out for Stephen. No, I didn't. Forgetting what I've done 5 minutes ago. Right. So that goes like that. Thank you. Yeah, I was lurking in your stream for about an hour or 2 earlier. You probably noticed. But yeah. If I hadn't been streaming and finishing off building the Lego, I would have stayed in your stream and chatted to you. I notice all. I am omnipotent. Right, so and we have, I think, yeah, we have 2 more stickers. So we have, is that there, 4x4, and then a 2x4. So that is sticker number 4, and that goes like that. Ooh, careful. Yar. And that goes on the end there. Indeed. And then, oh yeah, so the one with the left side on, number 8, and that leaves 2 stickers left, one little one and then the one for the show panel with all the details of Soundwave on. And then that goes that way, facing that way. And then we turn it over, and we've got some Technic ball joints. So that slots in there like that. Broski, you finished 2 games today. Which 2? Did you finish Infamous? And what other one? Crosshatch, yeah. Yeah, man. Which ones? Fancy seeing you here. Right, so turn that upside down, and then that goes on there like that. So that will form part of a hinge. You finished Batman. Oh, right, yeah. And oh, and the Expanse as well. Ah, I didn't know you'd started that one. Right, let's put that flat. Right, next page. So we've got these weird bits. Like last time, 2 studs on the top. It's another 2 off the list then, isn't it? So what you're gonna be starting now? Oh, you mentioned Toto. Wow, those fun. Yeah. I think I'll say I've played A Wolf Among Us. I've played Batman. I've played most of, if not all, of the Walking Dead ones. I don't know if there's any more I haven't played. Right, so then we put another one of those on top with a little crosshatch. And then, where is it? There it is. We've put that over there. I need a snack. Go on then, go get a snack. To be fair, I should be. Stretch my legs a little bit. I need some more snacks myself. Where did I put it? There we go. Got these whole grain breakfast biscuits. Just nibble, nibble, nibble. So we've got the other side. Another one on the top. And then a single. Right, so that goes. Forgot the one at the top on this side. Right. So that. Tight. Right. So yeah, still leave some space. There we go. So that's done. Cool. Push that in slightly. So we start on the next piece, which is there, and then a little 1 bricks with the crosshatch facing to the side, another one there, and then we've got another sticker. So where is it? 2x3 flat tile and sticker 12. So now we're down to the last sticker, and that'll probably be right at the end anyway, with the display panel. There we go, that one's almost perfect. So yeah, that's the only one that's left. It's got like all the information of the strengths of Soundwave, like it was a top trump card with all the stats on. So that goes on the top like that, and then a bit we made earlier is that's going to fit on the top. Yeah, like that. Clip on there. Next page. Got the crosshatch. Grey one. Yep. Grey one, not the yellow one. Right, so that goes all the way through. Yep. So some more flappy bits. That bit at the end. 2x3 plate. So that goes on like that, yeah. And then that fits onto like that. On there, just there we go. So that's not going to break apart now. And then we got the cheese wedge grill plates in yellow. Got 3 of them all along. Right, so what do we do with that? Down, and we get a 3x3 plate with 2 little 1 studs either side, and then that sticks out. And that goes underneath. More flappy bits. So we've got that. That there, and then so how does that, where's that bit go? That goes all the way through, and then the other flappy bit there. And that sits things here. I think that's, yeah, that's how it goes on. Oh, hang on. I'll make sure that's above so it doesn't get in the way, because we've got this bit underneath. Right, sorted. So, got these ball joints again. So, we get the cross hatch in the side, connect those together, put another one in that side. We've got the yellow cross hatch, and that goes through there. And then that goes cool, okay, that goes through here. Right, and then I presume that, like last time, clicks onto there, so we have a connection point. So we got, that's where the bits go into transform. Yeah, and then the triple joint. Very nice. And now we've got the other ball joint there, with the other ball. Oh, it's a bit fiddly, trying to get it straight. Yeah, I think that's it. Just enjoying the last 2 days of holiday. It's been lush. Yeah. I managed to get everything sorted and arranged. I didn't have much to get, to be honest, so it was like just bits and bobs, like bits of food, and I didn't have many presents to get, thankfully. Right, so that goes on there. So it's the same as the other side, you've got one either side there. Right, and then we have that goes on there. We've got a right angle piece, and that goes like that, and the little one plate on the end. And that goes underneath like that. so back to building the Lego in a sec. Just doing a bit of tippy tappy. Right. So I put that in there, so when I've completed this I will spend the rest of the day, if not into the early hours of tomorrow morning, uploading this to YouTube via my hard drive on my laptop. So if you stepped out and missed a bit, do you know what I mean, you can go to YouTube and watch the VOD uploaded there. It's going to be a big one though, because like I say, this is the third part, and it's probably going to take me 3 hours, and I've already done 6 hours on the first 2 parts. So right, so we layer this up a bit. So we've got a little tiny right angle piece, and then a 1x2 and a 1 underneath. Side, and then right, we're almost at the end of bag 9, so we put that plate right on that like that, and then so is that, yeah, the flat tile all along, and then we turn it over, yep, so, and then we've got some Technic pieces. Through, and then the little fluffy paddle bits. Right, and then that sticks onto the bottom here. That go right, all of those bits, so they go on there to hold that in place, and then that okay, so how does this clip in? Yeah, so I think that goes in like that. Oh, whoops. Alright, that clips all the way in like that. And then that can... Right, so... Yep, so that's the start of bag 10. Nearly almost at the halfway point for the day. So bag 10. Just the one little bag here. of them. Yep. Right, and the little ones. Yep, that's all them done. Right. So we got two of them, put them together, and then into big and small. Right, so that one goes on the end. We've got the one bricks with the cross hatch in, that goes on that end, and then another one but facing the other way, and then another one at the end there. So we've got the two holes. Then that goes along the top, holds that together, and then flat one stud and a flat one tile. Some crosshatch plugs, so they go in like that and like that. Right. Okay. May the Fonzie be with you all. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well, mate. How's your head after yesterday? You were very, very, very drunk. Well, that's what it sounded like anyway. Thank you for doing the shout out, Foxy. Right, so the right angle bit. That goes on like that, yeah, and then that secures on the top so it don't move, and then that plug goes in the bottom there. I'm good, thanks. I woke up with just a dry mouth as always. I drank half a bottle of scotch and woke up fine. Well, fair enough. Fair play to you. I've got less than half of my bottle of whiskey left. I've got a little bit in my coffee now. But if I run out, I'll probably get the single malt from Aldi that I was on about. Because there is a possibility that I might run out. Right, so that, yeah, that connects onto that. You can't get a hangover. Oh, I wish I could do that. Right. So next page. It's a curse. on the top like that. And then that with a little tiny crosshatch. And then that sits under, oh no, hang on, let's get it right. So that sits like that, yeah. I think so. Right, and then okay. Oh yeah, I remember. Right, so there it is. And what are they? Okay, sand coloured studs. Right. Whiskey just tastes like pop, so it goes down very, very easily. Did you know Telltale made a CSI game for the... I think if it's the same one that I've played a couple of CSI games. I don't know, yeah, I think they were the 360. Yeah, if it's the same one that I've played, then yeah. Not too bad actually. I mean, it was most of the achievements were like in big chunks of 100, I think, for every different case. So they weren't like accumulative or a bit like King Kong. So they popped at the end of every level. Expensive yet delicious pop, yeah. And then, what was it? Why we put a little... So we put that on the bottom, and then we shove that in there. Yeah, and then how does that goes on there. Yeah, I think so. Right, and then we've got this sort of clickety click ball joint. So we make sure that those line up. But yeah, very tight like a tiger. Oh. So that sits on the side like that, yeah, and clicks in. It's getting complicated. Right, and then we get the crosshatch, and this funny wheel. It's not a gear, but it's, I don't know. Right, so that goes through like that, and then that goes through and connects to the crosshatch. So it goes up like that. Yeah, got a diagram at the bottom here, so that you can check that it's, yeah, everything's correct there. Right, next page. Right, so they go click together like that. We've got a 1x2. angle, and then we have the right angle piece to clip on top so it stops them from moving. And then we have, so there you go. So clip them together, and you put it the other side like that, and then that goes on the side there. And then that clips on there. So, right, and where does this go then? So that, right, so I think that goes in like that. Yeah. And then that's like the little transforming panel with a hinge point. Yeah. And then that connects up here. So you've got the 3 holes along here, and you've got 3 points here, so they click into each other like tight. Yep, there we go. So that's done. That's the leg joint. Yep, cool. Onwards. Have a nibble. Right, so we got that. Right, so that with one hanging off the end. That in the middle, and then that's the finish. Right, then got that, and then that over the back. That underneath there, then that one there, little bright blue one, and then the dark blue one, and then they connect together. Yeah. And then we build up the layers. So put more of these on the side. In there. That fills in the back. Right, the little bright blue one in the middle. And then another long blue one, dark blue one. Right, and then with a little triangularized step down. and then a 1x5 grey. And then what is it? 3. Yeah, 6. And then so they go on the end there. And then a bit of some clips on the end, covers up the studs. So there you go, that levels off that. And then a 1x3 to go over them. A 1x6 brick and 2x1 plate. Little 2x1 crosshatch with the hole in. And another 2x1 plate on the top. Oh, whoops. Clip. There we go. Right. So, a little 1 tile. And then a little step down. That's 1 across. Little tiny cheese wedge triangle that goes on the end. And a little one. There we go. And then, so how we start plating the side. So that goes on the end there. Goes up the middle. On each side. Then we've got these half and halves. Half stud, half tile. So they go with the studs facing the middle. Yep. And then we've got these little 2x1 cheese wedge. And they up towards the back. Right, and then we put the little grab bar on the side. That's right. And then more tiling, so that goes on the top like that, and that finishes it off, holds it in place, nice and flush. Right, and then so turn that around and we connect that to so we've got 2 points there, 2 points there, and a point there. So there we go, that's clicked in nicely. So that makes the chunk of the leg. And then right, so sits in there like that, clips in, right, so we fold that around, do we? I don't know. I need the toilet, so I'm going to take an early break. So I shall be back in a couple of minutes. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm back. Right, so this is a bit fiddly. How do I? So is that? So, oh, whoops. I think it's time we put the leg on. So, I think this pin's, yeah. So, that pin's in there. There we go. So now both his legs are in. Right. Right, now we're on bag 11. So, bag 11's only a little one. To be fair, before I start this, I'm going to go and have my cigarette break, so I might as well. We're kind of, yeah, we're halfway through. So, I won't be long. Talk amongst yourselves. let's get this done. Oh, right, bag 11. So we take that long one, and we put that on the end. Huzzah! Exactly. Right. We turn that over. We put a little, whoops. Put a little blue one stud on the edge. Turn it back over. Legs stretched like Soundwave. Yep. And then another one on the opposite side. Ooh. And then, so another little blue one stud there. One brick with crosshatch either side. Yep, they're facing the right way. Yep. Doing the Rocky pose, yeah. Right, and then, so we get all of them. Put that over the middle. And put some little flat tile studs. So, yeah. Right, and then one of them on there, and then there we go. Building the layers up. That's going to connect to. Okay. Right, so we've got a little T-bar with going that side. Ball joints. So little ball joints either side. And then these little bits on the end. Oh, hang on, wrong way. So, how do they connect? Okay. So it sits on there like that. Okay. Not sure what that's for. Right, so we take a 3x3 plate. We get these elongated cheese wedge pieces. And we put 3 all the way along. And then we turn it over and we put a stud on that one there. And then we sit that on the front. Okay. down. We've got these little rubber rings which are darker than the ones, because they used these in the Game Boy for the buttons, or some of the buttons, so they go around that. Yeah. Or have I done that wrong? Yeah, I think I've done that wrong. So that goes. Oh. Yeah, that's it. So let's just check something. Yeah. So how does that? Right. So hang on. I've got the legs the wrong way around. So hang on. This is a bit complex. So that goes. Yeah, so that's still sitting right. So how do we? How is this supposed to go in? Okay, we've got the ball joint and then the connecting bits in there. So that's his feet, isn't it? So that clicks in like that. But how does that stay in? I think I understand now. Yes, I have missed a bit. So what have I done with? So let's take this back out. This is why you should pay attention to when you're building Lego. Right. So, yes, you've got to put these rods through and that holds it in place. Silly me. Right, so that goes all the way through. Yes. There we go. See, I wonder why it wasn't sitting. See, look, that wasn't supposed to come out. So we've had to go back a couple of steps to make sure we've got it right. So there we go. Now we can put the foot in. So now it will clip in place and it will stay. Something wrong here. Right. The bit's falling apart. Hola amigo! Can we have a shout out for Hoovy and Mel please, Foxy? I'm having a bit of trouble here. Something's falling apart. Oh dear, this is fiddly. Right, hang on. Thank you very much. Let's try and get this popped back in. fight the Autobots yet. The problem is, I think I'm missing a couple of bits. I don't know why. Hang on, let's have a look at the trigger. Yeah, I thought so. There we go. That's better. Right, so now put that in there. Right, so that's secured. I forgot to put that in there probably last night. So now that's better. So now the feet can clip into the legs. So now we've got to do the same for this one. So he's almost able to stand up straight. Right. Let's put them flat. Until I put the other foot on, he's not going to be able to stand up straight. So now we've sorted that, we go on to the next foot. Yeah, he's rather heavy. Yeah, big boy. Yeah, big boy. Right, so now switch that over. Put that in there. After all that kerfuffle. Back. We put the bit with the hole on there. And then with the space in the middle. Side, and then a little stud there in the middle. He's nearly as big as me. I'm only 4'7". You're not 4'7", are you? I thought you were bigger than that. No, he's 33 centimetres tall, so a little bit over a foot. Yeah, I was quite surprised when I saw the box. The box is as big as he is tall. So, yeah. So we got that over the middle. The little yellow dots going through the middle. Yeah, I was going to say. Yep. So, kind of worked. So, right, got the T-bar again. And then the ball joints. That's on there. And like I say, this is the bit that I missed in the other foot. So we put the rods through, and that holds them in place, like we should have done the first time. There we go. Right, so that's solid. And then that sits on the end. Excuse me. Right, and then that on the front. Right, yeah. Turn it over. Put the rubber bits on his bottom of his feet. Great minds. Yeah. So now we can put this in properly. So he wedges in there. So that should sit in there and click. There we go, yeah. Oh. So there's both of his feet that come out, so now he should be able to stand. I presume, yes. Can he stand on his own 2 feet? There we go. So as far as the grand scheme of the build overall, I think we're not far off. We've got the number 12 bag. Yeah, it's a big one, number 12, the last bag. Woohoo! And of course, there's 2 little mini bags. Not any more bits in there, are we? No? Let's go! Right. Oh, hang on. No, you missed one then. Yep. Last bag, yep. Exactly. Not one in there, is there? No, no. I'm going to get this finished and then I can start uploading all 3 of the episodes. Right. Get them all done. And then everybody can watch them all over again. Right, bag 12. So that's the plaque, I think. Yeah. So a hinge point. And then how does that sit? Okay. So there you go at the front like that. Yep. I think that looks right, yep. Huzzah. And then, okay. So we got one, little ones there. Another little one there. And then 2 by 2 that side, 2 by 2 that side. 2 by 1 flat, and then a grabby, another grabby point, and that goes on the back. It's good, right. So we've got the wall panel. It's like a cheap brick because it's not solid. So you'd be able to do like whole walls with just one of them. Right, so that clips onto there, and then we've got to build up the walls with loads of brick. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. There we go. So that's one side. Done. So we've got sort of like a box, or 3 sides of a box anyway, and then how's that go? Okay. Chopped off corner pieces, so they go, hang on, how do they go? They go like that. So that's the edge, the little edge is done. Right, and then some flat tile. So how's that? On that there. And then a big strip on the front. There we go. So, okay, what's this? This is the back plate. So how does this clip on? So what we've got is we've got 2 clips here. grabber clips points here, so it's telling us so there we go. That's, I imagine that's to hold that's like to put the head in, so the head can be rolled down and hidden away. Cool. So that's the back plate. So what now? So I think we're into making the head now, yeah? Little bits out of the way, so right, so build that up like that. Little one with the hole on, and then okay, we've got a little knobbly connection point on the end of the 2x2 with a hole, so that goes facing out the back. And then another one of them goes on the top. So another one of them with a hole on, and that goes at the back in between. Ooh. And then dark grey vertical grabber. So how's that? Which way does that go? Sideways. Is it sideways? Yeah. So you've got a little grabber point coming out the top. And then, okay, what's that? So one of those. And then another one top down. Yeah, and then cross hatch going through the hole, whoops, hole. And then a white brick going round, there we go. So I've done something wrong again. No? So apparently that fits on there. Yeah? Oh, no. Vertical. So the other way round. There we go. That's it. That's better. disappeared. Right, so a little slanted edge on it, so that goes on the side. Let me do another one. On that side. Okay. Right, okay, what's this? We've got these two like little talons or claws. So we put two of those on top of each other. And then, oh, whoops. A little one tile on the top. One with a hole on the top of that. And then a little cheese wedge. And then how does that go on there? That goes on like that, does it? Okay, cool. Right, and then right, so they go on. Okay, yeah, so they go on there. So that forms the basis of the top of his head. Yeah. And then right, so you put that fits on there and clicks in. That's yeah, that's just then alright, you can customise. You can either have two of those for his eyes or his visor, or you can have the yellow ones, so you can choose. And I'm going to have red. So those yellow ones will be spares then. Alright, so that's his visor. And then we got a silver piece. Very snazzy. Right, so we've got these little studs with grabbers on. So we put two of those on the back. So we've got the shiny piece, and then we've got the grabbers on the back. That's like the faceplate of his face. So yeah, that clicks on like that. his head and his face. So what we do, build up the sides. So 2 more silver bits. So how do they go in? They angle in. So I've got another one on the side. Another one on the other side. Yeah. So that forms is basically his cheeks. And then we've got the little bits at the bottom here. We've got to fill out. So little cheese wedge bits either side. Cool, done. Right. Okay. So that's his head bulked up on the sides. Got those little bits there. Cool. Right. And then that punches onto the top of the ball joint on this head here. So we've got the ball joint here. We've got the ball joint there. So that clicks in. Oh, whoops. There we go, that clicks. So that's how his head sits. There we go. So he's got his head on now. Right, and now I think we're on the closing stages. So yeah, I think it's his weapons now. So we've got 3 3x2. And then 1x2 brick. Chunky, right. Now we've got the little 1 bricks either side. Another 1x2. So, and then got these little bits with the tile on the top. So that goes on top of there. And then not quite cheese wedges, but arcing slopes. So we put them on either side to finish that off. Right. And then, right, so now we've got these barrel things. We've got to build up the inside bits. And then they sit in there, yeah. through the middle. Is it going to go? Yeah. And then that goes through like that. Let me take one more of these. I'll put the grey one of them in there. Yep, that's flush. Right, and then another one. Two on top of each other. We put that in the top of there. Oh, yep, that sits in there. And then that goes on the end of there, like that. So there's the gun barrel. It's chunky. And then take one of those wheels that you put like an elastic band on, so that goes all the way through, and because you've got the bit at the end that stops it from coming out. Then a red wheel, and then a black wheel. Yeah, and then that goes on the end. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Ah, no, that's the cannon on his shoulder. Cool, okay. So apparently that sits. Sits on his shoulder there. That was appropriate noise for me putting the cannon on his shoulder. So one of them on top of each other, and then a flat tile with a hole on, and then a flat little one stud tile. And then we put that in the top of the barrel. Turn it up and put that in the middle. Another one of them. We put that in there. And then funny little clip peg. Didn't quite understand that. Looks kind of like the shape of a guitar plectrum. So that goes. Is it the middle? Yeah, it's the middle one. Yeah. That goes through like that. And then top. Another one of them. Cool. So this is his gun. Yeah, this is definitely his gun. So the last two of these barrel things. Get that in there. That goes on. And then get some more of these circular pieces, put that in the top there. Ooh. There we go. And then we put that on the top of there. Alright, there we go. And now for the trim. So we've got that, and got that, go all the way through. Then we've got these little plugs that fit in there. And then you've got the little cheese wedge bits that go upwards to the middle. Yep. And then that's like a little barrel that goes in there. So that's like the tip of his gun. So put another little stud in there. Put the little cone on the end. And then we slam a rod all the way through to give it some stability. And then two more rods either side. Yep, so put another one of them in there. And then we put the red rod in the bottom. That's like the tip of the gun. Just the tip. And then yeah, so put more of these little clips in. No worries, man, you go and sleep. We're not far off finishing now, so we're just doing this is the gun, so like the accessories and such. Right. Sleep well. So that goes, and then the rods fit into the clips. And then there we go, so that's the gun. Oh, hang on. No. So it's got to go that way facing the handle. There we go, so that's the gun. And then, so let's put this in the hand of the, alright, there's the hand. So we put the gun on the clip on the top of his hand. There we go, there's his gun in his his hand. Right, so we're nearly done. A few little bit more. I think this is the the little display stand plinth. So we take that. We put those either side at the back. And we take that. Put them on either side. On there. So 2 across. Oh, whoops. Clickety click. And then that clicks on there. The last sticker. We have the last sticker, the panel one, with all the stats on. So hang on, let's take this off first. So, let's be careful with this one. Pretty much perfect. It's always the last sticker that you do perfect. Such is life. Okay. Right. So there we go, that's the plinth or the stand. So yeah. So that's what we put the little mini model on. But yeah, this is the, I'll transform that for you. Razor beak. And the wings come out, and then you have the head come down, and then you put the little missile pods on. There you go, that's Laser Beak. And that's Ravage. So we have a few spares, as always. So yeah, let's take off the rocket pad and his missile, his gun, and let's see how we transform this. I know, exactly, whoa. So let's push the feet in, and then that folds over. Push that foot in, and that folds over. So how do we, oh dear. So we fold these to this, done it again. see it's kind of transformed. Let's pull the head back down so the head goes in. Oh, hang on. Right, now we swivel that around and we put it back down in there. And we pull the box back up. There we go, so that's that. Now, how do we... supposed to I think I'm supposed to do the arms first. Okay, so that just connects to that. How am I supposed to do this? I got it. So does that. So that's that. Yeah, okay. So the arms, so they come up like that. And then they so that's basically how it transforms. Into the stereo, I think. So yeah, they sit there. storage. Yeah, so there we go. That's pretty much done. So you click the button and the cassette thing comes out, and then we transform him back. And that's the cassette, so that goes in to the cassette, I think. Maybe it goes in that way. There we go. There you go, like that. Yeah. You can flip. It doesn't quite. Yeah. There we go. So that's pretty much done. And there's the chunky instructions. Righty-ho. Makes a meaty slap on the table. So I'll take these off and I'll change this back to the cassette. So we put that back like that. We pull these to the middle. There's the other cassette. Let's see if that. See if that'll fit in there okay as well. Yep, there we go. It sits in there as well. That one fits in there better though. Go. So that's us done and dusted. So that's the Boxing Day brick building bonanza finished. We had to finish it a day after Boxing Day, but so yeah. Right, let's untransform him so he's back to a robot again. So we unclip that, we take that off, we unclip that, just careful. So we unclip there, damn it, we unclip, let's put that back on, we unclip there. And pull the legs down. Turn them round. Right. And bring them out. these arms. Let me open this up. Let me bring the head out. So you put the end of his weapon back in. Put it there. And then we put his pulse cannon. There we go, a pulse cannon on his shoulder. So let me have a look, see what this looks like from the front. Wow, that looks so cool. Oh, hello Kieran. Thank you for raiding me. Awesome. Hello Chloe, Rebecca. Nice one, thank you for the raid. I'm just about to end. You caught me just as I was finishing. So this is the final product, Soundwave. Push the button. Oh, hang on, his legs are a bit. Hello, I'm doing all right. How's you doing? A minute, let's. He's a bit. There we go. He's standing a bit more properly now. There we go. He's not falling over. There we go. Yeah, we gave it. Thank you very much, Foxy, for giving Kieran Wright a shout out. Awesome. Right. Yeah, it's built, man. It's done. It's done. So, let's find somebody we can raid. You were nice enough to raid me. Don't know, let's have a look. Any suggestions? Anybody that's doing Lego? Let's have a look. Show more. So yeah. Can't quite believe it's finished now, do you know what I mean? It's taken me 9 hours, or yeah, nearly 9 hours, but yeah. It's got all the awesome sound effects. Hang on, right, let's see if we've got anybody I can raid. I don't know. We've got Stevie Seal, who's a friend of a friend. His category is makers and crafting, and he's usually like doing welding and making stuff. So yeah, I know him through Zab Loka, another guy who does Lego. So yeah, I think we'll raid him, Stevie Seal. So I don't know what he's up to, but he's usually using power tools or a welder or something. Right, so raid Stevie Seal. Hopefully he'll be doing something interesting. No, we're done now, Stephen. I've only got to say we've got a few spares left over. We've got the bits and bobs like the little cassette with his weapons. Yeah, I know, it's an awesome build. But like I say, I'll show you the other two Christmas presents I've got. So at some point between now and a New Year, we've got this set. Just wait until the Twitch catches up. Oh yeah, you can't see that, so let's put it up there. So that's a Corvette Grand Sport and it's a Hot Wheels Lego. No, you still can't see it. There we go, that's close up. So yeah, I got that off of my best mate Swampy, my mod, for Christmas. Completely surprised me out of centre left. Yeah, exactly. Fancy. He said, you know, he wanted to get me something Lego, but then he wanted to get me something completely different. So I was like, yeah. And then my friend Jen, she bought me the Japanese maple tree. So yeah, that's need to see you build the Lego motorcycles too. Oh, no worries. I think I followed you a while back when somebody raided you, and I just sort of followed. So yeah, no worries. I need to buy more Lego elastic bands. Yeah, there's a, what is it? There's a Ghost Rider and a motorbike that's coming out on January the 1st. It's not a proper motorbike, as in it hasn't got like engine, you know, moving engine parts or what's the word? A flywheel. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna do the Corvette next Tuesday in the slot that I would usually be building them in, and then I'll probably do the Japanese maple tree on New Year's Day around that time. The Stranger Things sets that's coming out, I low-key want to get that, but no room to put it anywhere else. But plus it's a set that changes. It pulls apart and it sort of goes all crooked. It's an interesting looking set. So it's got like Technic elements to it. So there's hinge pieces. So it's like because I think the house is alive, isn't it? So, or possessed. So, do you know what I mean? You've got the house, and then this bit comes away, and this bit comes away, and then there's another bit on the side that comes away. Yeah, it opens up. Yeah, looks really interesting. Right. Well, if you'd all like to stay for the raid, I'll click the button. And thanks for your, like I say, thank you Kieran for the raid. And thank you for stopping by and watching me come to the conclusion of finishing Soundwave. Give you some more of the sound effects. There we go, there's the classic Transformer sound. And then the little music sound bite. Yeah, so well, I had to get it finished, you know what I mean? I did 2 streams yesterday. I'm just glad I didn't have to do a 4th, to be honest. I didn't know much longer it was going to go for. But yeah, 12 bags. Split it into 3 streams of 4 bags each. Right, so I'll click the button, get the raid going. Oh, you're going to get that. Oh no, I don't. That's going to be a big one. That's Minas Tirith, the Gondor city. No, that's too big. If I'd have, 4,000 pieces. If I'd have, maybe I might, because I was considering budgeting to get the Enterprise D at 350, but I only got this set Soundwave because I got it at 25% off. So it was 160 and I got it for 120 on eBay. I wouldn't have got it otherwise. I don't think I could have afforded to pay for it full price. So yeah, that was my Christmas present. Thank you for the shout out, Foxy. Doing the stuffs as a mod, as my new mod. Thank you very much. Right, so I shall. Hang on a sec, when's the message going through? Yeah, it is a steal. Yeah, I had to get it really, that's why I had to get it. Right, so the raid's going through.